enjoy as much as you want and not gain a pound. But there was a catch.
I'll tell you as both a historian and a teen of the 90s, the diet culture back then was all about low fat or no fat as much as possible.
Rather than figure out what foods would be better for us, no, just take the same foods and then just replace what was fatty with something else.
So when food manufacturers decide to take the fat out of food, you're actually pulling the flavor out as well. So you've got to make up for that loss of flavor. Whether it's fast food, whether it's snacks, how do you do that? Typically, you just add a bunch of sugar, and that doesn't really help.
Then a game-changing product hits the market.
In 1996, the FDA approves a compound that has 0 calories, 0 cholesterol, and tastes just like fat. This product is called olestra.
Olestra really does have a similar flavor and mouthfeel to actual fat.
For sure.
But it's engineered to have larger molecules than natural fat, so the body can absorb or digest it, which makes it calorie-free.
You guys haven't had dinner yet. Neither of the layer kitties.
Olestra is quintessentially American. Americans will not
You
give
can't
up
miss
their
along, bud.
fatty fast foods and snacks, but they also don't want to pay the bodily price of them.
Olestra is what this stuff is.
We
And
got
Olestra
eggs.
is sort of the company name that they use when they start pairing it up with salty snacks. So you start to see, pick a bag of potato chips and say, now we'll go lean, and there's no fat in there. So you go, oh, that sounds great, I should try
I know you guys are going to be spending half your time off camera,
It's exciting. It's a miracle.
which is why I thought I'd bring some of your friends out.
Flavor and none of the bad effects.
But if your body
You guys
doesn't
got a big
digest
turkey to work
olestra,
on.
it's going to do something else with it.
What they don't tell you is once you
Can you
try
keep
it,
yourselves
you can't
occupied?
leave the house.
Want to finish
Because
things up?
although this thing seems great on paper, yeah, it's no fat, it also is just running through your body like a freight train.
This causes some people to get so
You
sick.
hit me with your
requires
tail.
hospitalization, and some
You hit me with your
colonoscopies.
tail, huh,
Do
Emoji?
you know of any snack food today that requires colonoscopy?
Because the GI issues were potentially so significant,
Oh,
the FDA
is this
requires
a big
a
fluky
warning
tail?
to be placed on any product that includes olestra. Olestra might cause
Oh,
abdominal cramping
what a
and
good
loose
boy you
stools.
are.
Not very appetizing.
What a look how big you're
What's
getting.
crazy is that everybody knew of these side effects. But when you spend $200 million
Look how
on
big
research,
you're getting.
companies push it, the
Yeah.
FDA approves it, and now everyone is using it.
I was excited to try
Oh my
line chips,
goodness,
but I also
Emoji.
looked at it as a bit of a science experiment, and I made sure I was going to be in a
Oh.
controlled environment. Not like I wasn't going to have a date or
All right.
going out.
How about I
Over
give
the
you
course
your
of
wet
6
food?
years, the FDA
Keep you
received
occupied with
over
that.
20,000
While I finish things up.
complaints
Is that a
of
deal?
people saying they suffer from cramping and diarrhea,
Okay?
fecal incontinence, and arguably one of the worst two
Oh.
combinations in history.
Barely moved after that car ride today.
Very quickly, we went from a lean being this amazing thing to being the butt of every joke, literally.
You guys got a bunch of these turkey toys too.
Anal leakage was the joke at every late night show, every stand-up comedian, everybody was making
help
fun of
him
this
out.
stuff in such a short window of time.
By 2000, sales of olestra products have actually dropped by 50%, and they never recovered. So there has been attempts by the food industry to reformulate olestra.
My
A
leg?
product that doesn't cause stomach
Oh,
problems.
it's a whole
Which
turkey.
comes with a brand new side effect. They actually cause you to gain weight. In 2010, Time Magazine names olestra one of the
Oh, they all
top 50
bounce out.
worst inventions, and it's banned in many countries.
Today, nutrition experts tout the benefits of healthy fats. Of course, that still doesn't give us a diet potato chip. Up next, I'll black out in a can.
You guys can occupy yourself for a couple minutes.
Teenagers
Come
are feeling
on.
unconscious in school. People are falling into subway tracks. A young woman actually went through a glass door that she didn't realize wasn't open. This stuff is crazy.
There it is, they move the 50-yard line. Soon we'll be telling the whole stadium how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance. To save people hundreds!
Are you rather have the container in?
You're gonna have to.
Every day is Liberty, Liberty, Liberty.
Me too.
She's enjoying a beautiful day outdoors with friends and family. She's also managing her type 2 diabetes by taking Jardians, a little pill with a big story to tell. You see, once daily Jardians can help lower your A1C. Jardians works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and heart disease, Jardians can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and infection between and around the anus and genitals. Both may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract
Guys,
infections, yeast
you
infections,
can come here to see, not see you on
Stop taking
camera.
and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing, or swallowing. Tell your doctor about
Pain in my butt
weakness,
sometimes.
fever, pain, tenderness,
Get back
redness,
at
or swelling between the anus and genitals. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
So ask your doctor about Jardians. The little pill with a big story to tell.
Did you know at Cricket you can get a single line unlimited plan for just $35 a month? Seriously? Yeah, tell all your friends.
All my friends? That's like $35 a month. Single line. Deal. What a deal.
Get a single line for only $35 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Oh, we got a WeatherTech gift card.
WeatherTech is the perfect gift for everyone.
May I?
Laser measured floor liners protect carpet in the front and second row. Carpet liner protects the rear. The side window deflector offers
Guys.
more protection.
I'm really not kidding.
The
We'll end the
side
broadcast if you're
contains
gonna do
spills
this.
Something for you too, buddy.
Pets eat safely with a non-toxic pet feeding system. Find these American-made gifts.
You jump on that counter, that tail comes off. Do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You heard me.
OTC. Just one pill a day blocks heartburn before it goes. One pill, zero heartburn, all good.
This is Bombas. They took socks. Now, what if they could be way more comfortable? What if comfort could be for everyone? Bombas, one purchase equals one
No.
benefit. Visit bombas.com and shop our big holiday sale.
Gonna learn.
When I talk to older Americans, they're worried about Social Security. It's something they really count on.
Social Security helps cover what I need. Medicine, groceries, it's all.
I know.
This is
You
one
know you're so good.
and our country has
Emoji
kept
is
that
just
for
right.
90 years.
I hear Social Security may run short of funding in a few years.
AARP will never stop fighting to protect the Social Security payment you earn. Join us. With less pain and swelling from active psoriatic arthritis, imagine being a million miles away. With Tremfya, less joint pain, stiffness, and swelling is possible. Some patients even felt less fatigue.
Is what you want?
Serious allergic
I don't
reactions.
know if you'll eat out here. You're not used to eating out here.
Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your
Oh,
doctor
nonsense. That's what I want.
symptoms if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away.
You guys are peaceful for a few minutes. Let me get things set up. I will be bringing a couple of your friends out.
The proof might prove you wrong. It appears to be an authentic recording. All the proof is out there. New episodes tomorrow at 10. Only on the History Channel.
Yeah, last 30 seconds.
Channel app. And construction crew did something incredible.
Neither one of you is on camera. I swear, you do not get out there and I will end this broadcast and put you back in your cave.
New episode Tuesday at 10. Only on History. Next day on the History app.
College is that time of your life when you get a taste of
You
freedom.
got about 3 seconds, Emoji, before you have a
Between
real
classes,
bad
sports,
night.
and parties, it can feel like there aren't enough hours in the day. Wouldn't it be great if there was a way to get a little boost? In a legal way, of course.
You heard me.
Drinks like rated for contain radioactive materials.
You wanna go out in the ants? Might as well just broadcast out there. It goes out there.
Dangerous and deeply crazy. But then in the 90s and the 2000s, energy drinks made a huge comeback.
Get inside there.
Red Bull had really sort of opened America up to this world of energy drinks. And you started mixing Red Bull and vodka, right? So it starts to become part of party culture. Chris Hunter, Jason Freeman, and Jeff Wright, 3 fraternity brothers from Ohio State University, see this alcohol energy drink trend and they see a business opportunity. They begin experimenting with their own mixtures of energy drink and alcohol. In 2005, these budding entrepreneurs come out with a pre-mixed energy beer. It's genius. It's the first time a beer and an energy drink are available pre-mixed together.
They soon realized they found an eager customer base, and they figured they're onto something big.
They decided to call the drink Four Loko. Four, because it has 4 ingredients. It has alcohol, it has caffeine, it has guarana, which is a seed that has double the caffeine of coffee, and taurine, which is an amino acid that helps boost energy. And so they had Loco because, well, that mix of 4 ingredients is insane.
brother.
Each 23-ounce can has the same amount of alcohol as 5 beers and the same amount of caffeine as 2 cups of coffee.
You don't drink Four Loko, you survive Four Loko. It is like a can of Red Bull and a bottle of tequila.
Oh, you brought your own toy? You dug your own toy out of the toy box.
Within a few months, this drink is
See what I had put up with?
convenience stores, it's in
I don't
liquor
think you can
stores,
see it
it's
yet.
even in wraps.
He went out to the toy
But
bucket,
soon it starts to
he grabbed the feather stick,
For the wrong reason.
and he's taking it back to his bedroom.
Because it's really cheap, you know, $2.50 and it's 12% alcohol, so it'll get the job done.
Caffeine masks some of the effects of intoxication. By the time you drink 2 of them, you may be more drunk than you realize. There's so many people passing out from drinking too much Four
Oh, you
Loko
brought it back
that
again?
it starts to get the nickname.
You want me to play with you?
I remember when Four Loko was both captivating and terrorizing.
Is that your toy?
Teenagers were found unconscious at school.
I tried to go out and get one of your friends, but they're all busy, they're eating their own dinner right now.
And a young woman actually went through a glass door that she didn't realize wasn't open. This stuff is crazy.
At Central Washington University, 9 students who drank Four Loko are hospitalized in a single night. Their blood alcohol
Remember
concentration
something,
ranged from 0.12
Maine Coons don't
to
listen to anything.
0.35.
Do
It's
you
over
guys?
4 times the legal limit. I mean, anything over 0.3 can lead to like coma or death.
Then it turns out alcohol
And
isn't
not
even
follows
Four
them.
Loko's biggest problem.
In November of 2010, the FDA sends a letter warning of the danger of the levels of the caffeine.
Guys, it's gonna be a real short broadcast if we don't get back in here.
Felix Ortiz goes on TV to demonstrate exactly how dangerous this product is.
He drinks as much Four Loko as he can within an hour with a doctor measuring his
Doodle
vitals.
toe,
After just 2.5 cans,
you're about to have a bad day
his
too.
vitals have spiked, and the camera crews have to cut to prevent from filming him vomiting. With the FDA bearing down, the Four Loko team preemptively states that they will remove caffeine, taurine, and guarana from their beverages.
In December of 2010, the caffeine-free version is released. But that's not the end of the story for the original recipe.
Wholesale distributors across a number of states buy a bunch of this unused stock. They send it to a processor in Virginia, and they distill truckloads of Four Loko to get the alcohol in. The alcohol then is mixed with gasoline and sold as a fuel. So you can't drink Four Loko, but your car can.
Looking back at the foods we once enjoyed, from fat-free chips to candy cigarettes to radioactive energy drinks, there was always something new and exciting to try. Now sometimes it was toxic, or it might have had some bad side effects. But that didn't stop our hazardous history from being hard to resist.
What are you doing? What'd you do? You already tore that off the end of the toy, didn't you?
Did you know there was
Every
once a
toy
time
you've ever
in
gotten,
a
you've
science
broken.
kit that was actually radioactive?
You know, like the big heavy duty toys.
Atomic cloud. It was awesome and also ridiculously dangerous.
Do you remember playgrounds before safety standards?
If your childhood started in a place of
Hey.
torture devices for fun, you can handle almost anything like those.
Or when the hottest new toy came with a blowtorch.
They're creating 1200-degree molten glass.
You don't know what you want to do, do you?
Do what they do. What an idea. What an idea.
These are the things
He's getting as moody as your brother.
for fun, for money, or maybe out
Aren't
of
you?
order that we'll never see again. Were they dangerous?
You're getting as moody as your brother.
Deadly?
You know that.
Boy, wasn't it exciting?
Hey, mister.
Remember back in the 1980s when kids roamed free? There were fewer rules, fewer worries, and a whole lot more adventure. And for a kid who craved freedom, there was probably
This
no
ain't gonna
place
work
less
tonight, I don't
civilized
think.
than a park in Vernon, New
Unless
Jersey.
you wanna see me sitting here on a sofa.
In
We'll
the
give it a
70s,
little while.
Water parks are a new concept, and Gene Mulvihill comes up with an idea.
Any other time they come out here and they play for hours.
He's the center of it all, and he markets it
Right.
as the park for the ultimate thrill seeker.
We'll give about 10 minutes if they don't stay out here. I won't make you watch the wall.
Kind of had this grandiose vision.
Why are you being
of
such a
using
pain in the
the
butt,
Walt
mister?
Disney. The Action Park was probably
I did this for
one of
you guys, so you
the
have a
most
fun night too.
ill-advised parks in the history of amusement parks on Earth.
Every one of my
Would you
friends
like
I
some
went,
turkey?
came back with a cast
You
and
guys have
scissors.
a 20-pound turkey.
We would pull up to it, talking about which
I don't
dangerous
like
ride
turkey.
that we were gonna go on to prove how tough we were. And our parents were like, here's money, get in there, we'll be at the bar.
At the time in New Jersey, there's an advisory board for amusement park rides, but not a regulatory agency.
What do I want
So
anything to
Mulvihill
do
doesn't
with
need any permit when he goes about building this thing.
it?
There's nothing holding him back. Mulvihill dreams up one of the park's most unforgettable rides. It's the nation's first looping water slide, the Cannonball Loop.
So the Cannonball is a 60-foot enclosed water slide that has a 360-degree loop that spits you out at the bottom.
It defied every
I
engineering.
want a couple
principle,
pieces in
every
here. You want this?
mechanism for safety.
I know, hey, you guys turkey.
When I look at this, I'm like,
Hey,
this clearly was designed
I
by
gotta
someone
listen to
who
you
has
too
no
out here.
experience. And guess what?
come on.
It was.
Gene
Come
Mulvihill
on.
designed the Cannonball Loop on the back of a napkin. He's not an architect, he's not a designer, he's not an engineer.
I guess what we're gonna have to do is just bring all the cats out. But I can't do that tonight. So,
It's so open seated.
instead of giving them a couple minutes, if they don't stay out here, we're
So
gonna cut it
Gene
off.
gets his son to test this water slide. His son doesn't even have enough faith in Gene. He decides, hey, I'm gonna go down it, Dad, but I'm gonna go down in full-blown hockey gear. And this is a slide designed for people in bathing suits, okay, not hockey gear.
Gene Mulvihill is using his son to test out this ride.
You don't even want your
Says
toy.
So much about
You
how
could
to
be an
use
option.
down character from that era.
Then Mulvihill starts paying park employees, mostly high school students, to go down.
Mulvihill offers them $100 to be the guinea pigs, essentially. And so one by one, they go down the water slide, and there's a problem.
When they enter the loop, the riders have to have enough speed to make it all the way around the loop. If you didn't make it, you fall back down the tube. And now you're really stuck. You can't go back up the 60-foot incline, and you can't go up the loop. What do you do?
The only way to get out, eventually, is they lower ropes down the tube where the kids can latch onto it, and then they pull them all the way back out.
They finally decide that there's enough people getting stuck that they have to create this hatch to get people out.
This was a ride that had its own escape hatch. That's how bad it was.
But amazingly, getting stuck is not the worst possible outcome.
People would come out and be like, why am I bleeding from here? Why am I bleeding from here? It's a water ride. How are people getting cut? They open a hatch and they see that people were losing their teeth on the ride. The teeth would get embedded into the ride like shards of glass. And then we would just go on it and shoot around and get cut up by people's teeth. People's teeth!
The Cannonball Loop causes so much carnage that responsible adults are forced to intervene.
So many people had been injured that the advisory board said, hey, we gotta put the brakes on this.
You took the turkey over there?
Only open for a month.
I only gave you a couple pieces because I wasn't sure if you were gonna eat it.
11 years.
A lot of these things that we talk about sound kind of dangerous and perhaps too risky for children to be engaging in. But as someone that lived through that era, there was a sense of pride in acknowledging and surviving the danger. That was actually fun. I couldn't wait to go back next year.
One ride Action Park didn't have is the most popular ride in America today, a roller coaster. And if you think modern coasters are bigger and better than ever, you'd be wrong.
Coney Island in the 1880s is where the entire world comes to play and mystified and astounded. And the marquee attraction of the day was the Switchback Railway. And it was raking in the modern equivalent of $22,000 a day.
The switchback topped out at 6 miles per hour. This is really slow compared to
Something I didn't really want to have to talk about.
Back then, not only were roller
It looks like
coasters
we're gonna lose
used,
Joe
but
tonight.
very few people were driving around in cars, so it was actually.
And if you can't hear me, for the people that say, "Oh, what'd he say?" It looks like we're gonna lose Joe tonight.
How can they make it go faster? How can they increase the thrill?
What they come up with is the first American coaster to go upside down. It's called the Flip-Flap Railway. And at the time, it was the fastest freestanding roller coaster in the world. Because it has to be.
The key to making this roller coaster work is speed. So that once you start going around the loop, you don't stall at the top and fall down.
Because there's nothing but your own body weight and G-force holding you down. You have no seatbelt, you have no harness, you have nothing but yourself, God, and the wind.
The Flip-Flap Railway is a circle that's about 25 feet in diameter. And in order to generate enough speed, there's an almost pure vertical drop where the cars reach 45 miles an hour.
To put in perspective, the first auto race in the US is held the same year the flip-flap opens. And the cars in that race averaged 7 miles per hour. 7.
So the flip-flap is extremely fast. And even at today's standards, 45 miles per hour on a roller coaster is a hit.
The speed is ahead of its time. But as far as safety measures, they're making that up as they go along.
In the late 1800s, there was no real regulation. I mean, amusement parks were new. And so this was all experimental.
Modern roller coasters are.
Guys, you're gonna have to entertain yourself for a while.
Back way you pull.
I'm so sorry, but-
At the bottom than you otherwise would in a circular design. Just for perspective, a space launch generates 3 Gs. 6 Gs is the maximum a human being without protective equipment can really stand.
Guys, you eat some of your turkey. You still got a couple pieces in there. Entertain yourselves. Try and stand camera, please.
So what 12 Gs
This is
means
really
is
dramatic.
you feel a pressure 12 times your own body weight pressing down on you. So that means a 50-pound child would feel 600 pounds of invisible weight pressing down on him. The scariest roller coaster that any of us have been on today tops out at about 5 Gs. These people were putting these poor suckers on a wooden trolley cart that whipped around like that. Astronauts couldn't put up with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like astronauts trying to go to space.
Never
Don't
gonna
deal
be.
with that many Gs.
By today's standards, we get on these roller coasters and we feel at home. We have seatbelts, we have harnesses, everything is holding us in. Not then.
People are without a harness, just with enough money to ride the roller coaster and a little bit of a desperation. People were passing out, they were getting bloody noses, like they were seeing God. Their brains were rattling around their skulls, they were getting flattened like pancakes. And then they'd have to pay a nickel or something like that for the pleasure.
Chances are, if you ride the flip-flap once, you are never riding it again.
The Flip-Flap Railway was so bad, it started to be called one of the unholy terrors of the beach. And in 1901, New York City finally just shut it down.
Up next, it sometimes feels like fun itself is childproof today. But a century ago, it was anything goes.
If I had gotten this kit as a kid, oh, this would have been amazing. I could play with fire and blow glass in my own room.
Is your body sending you an SOS? If you have high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes, your kidneys could be warning you about increased risks like heart attack or stroke. Don't miss the hidden signal. Ask your doctor about a UACR urine test.
When you
get a classic ride, you need tools you trust. Whether you drive it every day or only take it out on the biggest night of the year, count on Harbor Freight. Black Friday deals up to 70% off happening now. Why choose the Sleep Number Smart Bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no, I'm always hot.
Sleep Number does that.
Can I make my side softer?
I like my side firmer. Sleep Number does that.
Your ideal firmness and effortless comfort all night.
Can I always sleep better and better?
Please.
Sleep Number does that. You'll love this for you.
It's our Black Friday sale. Recharge with cooling comfort that adjusts to you. Save 50% on the limited edition smart bed, only at Sleep Number. Wherever you're headed, Discount Tire wants to get you there safely. That's why we created Treadwell. Treadwell shows you transparent test results on how tires really perform.
Let's get you take your care.
You guys leave again?
All
right. Well, not gonna get through this drama. With Joe. If you guys don't stay out here.
My rate better than the old? Yes, my rate dropped significantly, which helped lower my monthly payments.
I'll leave it on.
Low fixed rate, no fees required, and
We're back
seen
again.
the same day you sign. Your sisters are on.
Guys, I'm having a massive problem right now, and I don't need you guys
Liquid pain reliever that starts working fast.
befuddling everything.
Painquill, the 8 pain strains head pounding, back aching, flexing fast medicine.
Alright, we're done. I'm sorry, everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow night.